my second video here today. And my last one was I was talking about that your greatest asset that we overlook, that we all overlook, I think, in business as well, is you. And I hope that you guys were able to get that from the last video. And going on to this video here, also the fact that I've been learning that sometimes I know for me, being on social media and trying to also grow the audience on multiple platforms, there's going to be a lot of strategies that you're going to hear about, that you're going to maybe even get offered some type of packages, or maybe even which way is better, which way isn't. And I think that kind of makes you lose the authenticity of it. Like, I wouldn't want people to be following my content if we didn't have the right alignment. Like they didn't like my stuff. It was just because I kind of hooked them into one of the lines to get them into my channel or to my podcast or into any type of my content. So I think I've learned that I just go pretty much basically with my intuition. I start something, I talk about something, I go random, I talk about it, and I started thinking about the other day, like, where does this thing come from? Like, you ever thought about kind of like, how you kind of turn something on, or you might start a blog, or you might start a vlog like myself, and you start talking, and where does all these ideas come from? I mean, I have nothing written down, I have nothing pre-scripted, and I think that's one of the most valuable, authentic parts of ourselves. That being said, that you're the greatest asset, tuning into ourselves and understanding that most of what it is that we are seeking is already inside of us. And this is a lesson I'm learning today, but I think it takes a lot of inner work, and also a lot of listening to yourself and eliminating the outside noise, and actually really honing down to what it is that you're trying to bring, right? I know for myself, when I started these endeavors, I didn't know what I wanted to start. I just kind of had an idea about it, kind of a hunch, but I didn't really know. And along the way, I just kind of transcended, and I kind of just changed up, like certain things I didn't like, I didn't really want to talk about. So I kept on moving on forward, but I just try to do something. So I think you being your greatest asset, and you want to start something and you're thinking about it, first of all, you got to try, you got to start, you got to try things, you got to put yourself out there, if that is what you want, of course. But I think a lot of us kind of, I know myself, you kind of second guess yourself on a lot of things. And I know this changed for me big time when I just started going with whatever it is that I had in my mind, and I just started to put it out there. Again, you might have some shitty videos, you might have some shitty content, but you might have some awesome stuff, some positive, some powerful stuff. And I think we just really never know. I think I have to also admit to myself, I don't know, what is to come from all of this. And for me to come here and be telling you exactly what I know what is going to come, it's kind of me being oblivious to what the universal laws and all these things that we have around us. We really don't know, and I think admitting that is a great asset to yourself as well, because it keeps you more open-minded, it keeps you more flexible, it keeps you more able to adapt to the new technology, the new apps, the new ways of doing things. Like, you kind of are learning as you go, and as I said in my last video, it's kind of one of the biggest assets we all have, in order to be able to incorporate as we go, as opposed to having to stop and learn and then come back. I think if you're learning as you're going, it's a lot better. The process, everything becomes more fluid. And again, I just feel that not knowing and understanding that whatever it is that you come out with, like, if I know for me, I could be talking about countless amount of things, but I choose to talk about this, and I started thinking about it. It's like, why? And I cannot explain that to anybody. I cannot explain to you why I want to talk about this. It's just something inside of me that really wants to just share with everybody else, and along the way share my journey here. So